The Detroit Tigers take 4 of 5 from the Minnesota Twins. DAZ Cameron coming through clutch late. All today on Locked On Tigers.
You are Locked On Tigers, your daily Detroit Tigers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Locked On Tigers. I am, of course, your host, Scott Bentley. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. What a great way to end the week. Thanks for making Locked On Tigers your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast. That's including YouTube. What a ride. The Detroit Tigers win this one 3-2. DAZ Cameron with a 2-run shot in the 8th inning to give the Tigers the win. Gregory Soto shuts the door in the 9th. Just, golly, what a roller coaster. I was pretty upset most of the game. I thought the offense was wildly uncompetitive for pretty much the entirety of the 9 innings. Really, except for the first inning. I thought the offense was rolling over, pretty uncompetitive for 2022 Chris Archer. Was very frustrating to me. Can't do anything about Duran. That dude is a cheat code. That is, like the Grand Theft Auto cheat codes you used to do when you were in like middle school, and you used to sit there with your buddies and used to do like the down arrow, up arrow, right, left, right, triangle, square, X, and then all of a sudden your dude would be able to jump like 50 feet in the air, or would be faster than everyone, or wouldn't take damage, or you couldn't arrest him or whatever. That's Durant. That dude's a literal cheat code. So like that's whatever, that's ain't nobody hitting him. So whatever. The fact that he did so well in the first inning, he went out there and got to pitch 2 solid is kind of frustrating, but nobody's really competitive against that dude. So whatever. Nasty stuff. 102 with ease. He's got I think it's technically a splitter, but it moves like a changeup, but it also goes like 96, so it can't really be like a changeup. But I guess when his heat's at 102, it could be. And then he's got a curveball that spins like a fastball, but then drops 2 feet. He's disgusting. So that was whatever. And then we did hit the back end of their bullpen there. But Chris Archer going 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 Ks against you, I didn't think was very acceptable. And I just had to keep reminding myself, you know what? We took 3 of 5 from the first place team in the division. This is still a win of a series and a step in the right direction. It sucks that we're going to be going into New York on a loss, but it certainly could have been a lot worse than 3 of 5. And I was kind of lying to myself, because in a 5-game series, okay, in a 5-gamer, 3 and 2, like the difference between 3 wins and 2 wins doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. I know we still won the series, or we still would have won the series either way, but 4 of 5 is way different in my brain than 3 of 5. And maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. I am a weirdo, but like it doesn't move me. It doesn't make me feel things. Like, all right, 3 of 5. Like we won a series against Minnesota. They're the first place team in the division. That's a dub. We should be happy with it. But I don't know. Like percentage-wise, like the different, you take 2 of 3, you just won 2/3 of the games, right? You take 3 of 5, like you won more than half, but, he still dropped 2. I don't know. It just didn't excite me. And then DAZ Cameron made me not even have to worry or even have to pretend like I was excited about 3 of 5. And he just said, you know what, I'll give you 4. I'll give you 4 or 5. I'll let you take 80% of the series against the best team in the division. Beautiful. So the offense wasn't great in this one. They weren't. We don't have to sugarcoat it just because we won. And just because we won, that doesn't make it not true. The offense was pretty brutal. But, the thing with good ball clubs, the thing with good baseball teams is even when they're not on their A game, they find ways to win. They win games when they don't look their best. That's what makes good teams good teams. Bad teams, everything has to click for you to win. The Pittsburgh Pirates just swept the Los Angeles Dodgers. There was errors out in the field by LA. They had uncompetitive at-bats, and the Pirates had some really good at-bats. Everything has to go right for bad teams to win. Good teams can win even when they're not on one, even when they're not going up there 100%, even when they do have injuries, even when the offense is struggling. They find ways to win games no matter what. And I'm far from saying that this Detroit Tigers team should be officially labeled as a good baseball team. They're still 9 games under 500. But that's 4 of 5. That's 7 of 9. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I think it's 4 of 5. It's 7 of 9. And it's 12 of 19 or 20. Maybe it was 20. It's not a bad streak. Not a bad little stretch there. So we will gladly take it. And look, we will, again, I'm not going to hide the fact that the offense I thought was pretty uncompetitive. Willie Castro, besides getting hit in the elbow to lead off the game, didn't put together too many great at-bats. That was the other frustrating thing that I think honestly made me more upset than if we just rolled over the entire game. Like the first inning was great. Spencer Torkelson double play to kind of kill it, but as a whole, everyone was seeing the ball well. The Torque double play was still a hard hit ball. I was like, oh, okay, this looks good. We're riding high, swinging a hot stick. We've won a couple games in a row, 3 of our last 4. Let's keep the pressure on them. And then after a really, really solid first inning, Harold Castro draws a walk, the only walk of the game for us. Jonathan Scope gets an RBI. And then that was like it. And then, yeah, the Torkelson, like I said, Torkelson double play obviously killed it. And then the rest of Chris Archer's outing, he just dominated us. And that's, I don't think that should be like acceptable, to be completely honest with you, in 2022. He can't go more than 4 innings, and he's got like an ERA around 4. At least it was coming into this game. I think it's below that now, but regardless, you get the point. Should have been a little more competitive against their starter. Should have been more competitive all game. This pitching staff has done wonders, continues to do wonders. And yet the offense, time and time again, just can't get going. The DAZ thing we'll get to. That was just electric. I will say a couple of things. First off, Jonathan Scope is back. Make no mistake about it. He is absolutely back. He has one of the highest hard hit rate percentages in all of baseball since like early May, even mid-May. His numbers over the last couple of weeks have been phenomenal. Huge steps in the right direction. Just as a whole, he's absolutely back, and he looks really, really good and competitive at the plate again, which is great to see because he's going to be an important middle of the lineup bat for this team. And then Spencer Torkelson is the other person I wanted to talk about. Actually, really quickly, Eric Haas, too. Eric Haas has been really struggling this year at the plate, which you could say that about a lot of people so far. However, Haas, more specifically, the first 2 weeks of the season, I thought his at-bats looked a lot better than last year in the sense that he was taking a lot more pitches. And then that kind of just all went away, and it seems to be the same thing as Javi, where if you throw a breaking ball low or low and away, it's pretty much a guaranteed swing and a miss. He's not getting around on the fastballs inside either, which you got to have one or the other. You either got to be able to spit on the breaking balls low and away or catch up to high fastballs, or else you're just not going to be a major league hitter, honestly. And this game, he did turn around on one, did rip a ball, which was good. I just like that. That's a good sign. We need to get him going so that we can have some offense. We need offense any way we can get it. So getting him going would be really nice. I did want to talk. Torque was the one I wanted to talk about. He is hitting the ball very hard. He really is. He's hitting the ball hard, and I think he looks really good at the plate. He takes a lot of balls. He's good. He's good at the plate. It's a major league approach. He's pulling the ball hard, but it's on the ground. There's no elevation to it, or he's putting the ball in the air to the push side. That's what it seems to be. Everything with him seems to be hit hard on the ground and to the pull side, or in the air, but to the push side and kind of like too much in the air and under it. It's all a timing thing. He'll be fine. But he had two of the hardest hit balls of this entire game for either team. They were just both on the ground. One was down the line. He got thrown out at second, but the other one just being down. He had two balls hit over 107 miles an hour. Beauty. He's coming around. His batting average since like the middle of May is well, like, I want to say it was somewhere above 280, maybe even. Like, it was, they showed the graphic on Bally. It was really high. So he's coming around. Anyone else? Oh, Cody Clemens. Look, I don't think he looks overpowered or looks completely outmatched there, except against Duran, but everybody on the team did. Most people in baseball do. And so I don't think he did have the one mishap in left that's a problem. And you know, if the Tigers if Daz Cameron did not play hero ball late, that misplay in left would have been the reason that the go-ahead run scored, right? And, you know, the offense was not great, so it's not entirely his fault, but can't be allowing runs on balls there. And it wasn't an easy play by any stretch, and he is not a natural corner outfielder. So he's got some growth to do for sure. But I like that the fan base didn't just like freak out and just go, oh my goodness, you know, Cody Clemens is terrible. Like, there seems to be some understanding that he's growing, and the offense scoring one run in the first 8 innings or 7 innings is more of a reason to be concerned than one fly ball. He had 6 other putouts that game, you know, this game. So at the plate, at least, again, I don't think he looks completely overmatched. He had 1 strikeout in this one, put a couple of balls in play, pulled one really hard right to the first baseman. I think he's going to come around. I think he's going to get there. And honestly, with all these dudes starting close, hopefully, to getting healthy again, we'll see if he's maybe sent back down to Toledo anyway. But it sounds like he's at least going to make the trip to New York this weekend. So we got him for at least 3 more games. Okay, I think that's everyone I want to cover on the offense. I think it is. Okay, let's get to the pitching. And then we'll just talk about the heroics and everything there at the end. We kind of already did at the beginning, but we'll talk more about it. First, though, I got to tell y'all about our friends over at LinkedIn. You've heard me talk about it before. With spring in the air, it's the time of renewal and growth, personally and professionally. As your small business grows, LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find people to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job and the purple hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questionings make it easier to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small business rates LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? That's a lot. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB to post your job for completely free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, everybody. Welcome back to our second segment here. I almost said second edition. Second segment of Locked On Tigers. Thanks for making us your first listen every single day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. I have an important favor to ask of y'all before we go any further. I've talked about it the last couple of days. Take that survey. Take that survey. We've put together a survey so we can learn more about listeners like you and make your favorite Locked On podcast even better. This is your opportunity to tell us what you like and don't like about Locked On Podcasts. So go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey right now and get started. It only takes a few minutes, won't take very long at all. And everyone that completes the survey can qualify for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Ticketmaster gift cards. So to take that audience survey, go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey. Thank you for your help. You'd think after saying it 4 times that I would have it down. You'd be mistaken because I'm me. All right. Let's talk baseball. What a game. Golly, what a game. Had me amped up. I was screaming in my living room. I'm sure some neighbors are mad at me. I was saying some rude things to the Minnesota Twins. I'll admit it. I was all kinds of fired up. All kinds of. What a ball game. Alex Faedo gets the start in this one. This is a really encouraging start for me from Alex Faedo. And I know that the final box score is not the prettiest thing in the world. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So here's the thing. Here's why this is such an encouraging start for me. The command wasn't really there. He really struggled with the command all game. At one point, he just completely bailed on the changeup because he couldn't locate it at all. The slider, not fantastic command. His slider seemed to be like kind of in the region, but he did miss up a little bit, and the ball was given a ride a couple of times. But the biggest thing was the 4-seam command. It was either right where he wanted it or nowhere close to the glove, right? It was either a foot away or right on target, not very much in between. And I just think it's so important. Again, kind of like what I talked about with the whole team. It's so important for people and for young developing arms, even when they're not on their A game, to still only give up 2 runs in 5 innings, right? And start a game in which your team won. That's phenomenal, right? So to have that part of your progression where you are maybe not on your A game, you don't have your best stuff, and yet you're still able to go out there, give 90 pitches and only give up 2 runs. That to the division leader and a pretty darn good offense. Very, very impressive outing from Faedo. The pitch mix in this one, very heavy fastball. Again, when your command goes, that tends to be what you do, right? Like you did have the slider that was thrown 30% of the time, but the 4-seam was thrown 60% of the time in this game. 12 whiffs. Again, not bad in 5 innings. That's not a terrible number. And 7 on the 4-seam and 5 on the slider. I was really impressed with how many whiffs the 4-seam was getting. It was just straight to a spot. He had a couple of called strikes on it too, but I mean, for the most part, he was getting dudes to swing over the fastball low in the zone, and he wasn't even really setting it up with a changeup at the beginning. Like I said, at one point, he just completely bailed on it. It was impressive. I'm not really sure how he was setting him up like that. Maybe the reputation of his slider is just so engraved in people's brains already that maybe they were just sitting slider, but he was able to get a lot of swings and misses on fastballs that were just kind of, they weren't down the middle or anything, but just were in a quadrant rather than like a specific spot. Like he was just like, oh, I'm just going to throw a low and inside heater here and see what happens. And when he was hitting his spots with it, he got some swings and misses. I was pretty impressed. Average exit velocity of only 88 miles an hour. He did get a lot of weak contact. And at one point, I think they talked about it a little bit on the broadcast too. So credit to the Bally broadcast there. But after a Fetter mound visit, he just kind of went out there and went, okay, I don't have to get everyone to swing and miss. These guys are going to get themselves out more times than they're not. Let's just throw it in the zone and see what happens. And he would got out of a full count by just throwing a fastball low-ish and inside-ish. It was a pop-out. Like that happens. That's baseball. So while he is taking these steps forward, he has to refine his stuff and get the command to be slightly better and get a little bit more. The slider is a little inconsistent at times for me. Sometimes it looks like this elite pitch that's one of the best in the entire rotation. And other times it looks like it's kind of just there to set up the fastball, and it's not really like a go-to kind of a dog pitch. And in this game, I thought it was inning to inning, the slider, honestly. It was kind of inconsistent. So he does have some stuff to refine. That all being said, the fact that he was able to go out there and just grit his way to this performance without giving up a ton of like flyouts to the warning track, right? Like it wasn't like a Comerica outing either, where the only reason that he was able to go as far as he did, and the only reason he didn't give up more than 2 runs was because the Twins were just like crushing him, and Comerica is just a huge park. Like, no, it was routine flyouts, like maybe hard hit grounders at times, but it was an impressive performance. And I just think when your command is a little off like that, if the floor is around that, what we've seen, because this has been a couple of starts now where we've kind of had this type of outing. If this is the floor, the ceiling is going to be really damn exciting. So I'm pretty pumped about Faedo. We'll go through the bullpen really quickly, and then we will talk about other news and notes from the organization and in this game, because I still want to give DAZ Cameron his true flowers, because, oh, golly. First, though, I got to tell you all about Built Bar. It's time. You've got to try the Built granola bars. They're finally here. Built granola bars come in 3 unbelievable flavors: chocolate peanut butter, chocolate coconut, and white chocolate berry. If you want to try all 3 flavors, you can get a mixed box at built.com right now. There are so many different bars. There's also so many different puffs. And the puffs I talked about at length, in May, mostly last month. They're all awesome. And Built granola bars are loaded with granola. It's the perfect combination of crunch and chewiness. But just like bars and puffs, these babies are packed with protein and covered in 100% real chocolate, just like all Built products. With 150 calories, 15 grams of protein, and only 4 grams of sugar, Built granola bars will change your world. Built has cracked the code to better granola. They're the perfect healthy snack to pack in your lunch, take on the road, or eat as a snack. They're made with protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently and provides tons of health benefits. So, if you've been waiting for a healthy and delicious granola bar to hit the market, this is your time. Head to Built.com right now. Get the Built granola bars, 3 delicious flavors to try: chocolate peanut butter, chocolate coconut, and white chocolate berry. Don't miss out. Go get yours today. Go to Built.com right now. Use promo code LOCK15 for 15% off of your order. That's promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at Built.com. All right, everybody. Welcome back here for segment 3 at Locked On Tigers. Thanks for making us your first listen every single day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including the YouTube. Detroit Tigers take this one 3-2 over the Minnesota Twins. Cap off a taking 4 of 5. 5-game series against the first place team in your division, and you take 4. Can't ask for too much better than that. The bullpen in this one, shocker, was phenomenal. And it's at a point now where the bullpen, they had a graphic on Bally in this one, is in the top 2 in pretty much every single bullpen statistic there is. ERA, whip, runs allowed, hits. They're an upper echelon, truly like performing like an elite caliber bullpen. And this one, they go Chafin first. I cannot express how much I love Andrew Chafin first out of the bullpen, because he's proven that he can be one of the best relievers in all of baseball. Look at his last year. His 2021 was elite. And you have so many dogs at the back end that you can choose from. To be able to go to one of the best dudes in baseball last year out of the pen as your first out is such a cheat code. It's so nice. So I love Andrew Chafin first out of the pen. I do. And that seems to be a reoccurring theme, especially if they have a lot of lefties due up. And Andrew's been getting a lot of first look out of the pen, and I absolutely love it. He goes 2/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout, does get the 1 walk, and then with a righty up to bring out Jason Foley. Let's talk about Jason Foley, because he looked incredible again in this one. And that's after I said in his last outing, it was one of the best outings I had ever seen out of him. This one is right up there too. This one might have topped it. Phenomenal performance by Jason Foley. I want to see the sinker thrown 97 million times. His sinker is disgusting. It has a ton of move. It has a ton of movement. Let's finish the word. And it gets up to like 97 miles an hour. And I know the four seam gets up to 98, 99 even. And the slider was effective in this one. Like, it has the potential to be effective. But that sinker is filthy when it is on. And I just want to see it all the time. His pitch mix in this one, he threw 14 pitches, 7 with a four seam, 4 with a sinker, and 3 with a slider. And the four seam has a little bit of run on it too. It's not just like a straight pitch by any means. But I want to see the sinker as much as possible. I do. It's a filthy pitch. And he really showed he's got that dog in him today. He really showed it. 1 in the third, 2 strikeouts. Perfect besides nothing. He was perfect. Phenomenal. Perfect inning in the third. Alex Lang. So here's another thing. Alex Lang, we've been very open about the fact that while Alex Lang is maybe one of the nastiest dudes in terms of pure stuff in all of baseball, he does have some command stuff at times that he's got to work through. Again, it's so reassuring and so nice to see, even when Alex Lang is off and his command is all over the place, that he still didn't give up a run and pitched an entire inning. That's so nice. That's crazy cool. 1-run game. He walks 2. The command on the changeup and on the fastball was just all over the place. Doesn't matter. Still gets a strikeout. Still gets out of the inning clean. So refreshing. Only gave up 1 ball that was like hit hard and like barreled up. Besides that, in the 21 pitches, it was just a matter of whether it was in near the strike zone or not, because the 3 whiffs in 1 inning of work, a called strike in there. I mean, only 3 balls fouled off, and like I said, 2 put in play. 1 was super weak contacting, the other one was pretty hard hit. So at the end of the day for him, it's just going to come down to, can the ball be anywhere near the zone? And if it is, he is going to be lethal. He gets the win in this one, actually. He's 4-1 now on the year. Look at that, Alex Lang. So I'm so beyond impressed with Lang, even with, again, the off outing. It's just, it's so nice to win games when not everyone is on their A game. And obviously you want everyone to be on their A game all the time. I'm not saying that's not what everybody should want and demand. I'm sure the players want and demand that too. But good teams and good players follow through and push through and continue to succeed and win and figure out how to get it done even when they're not on top of their game. And we saw a lot of that in this one, which is awesome. Then Gregory Soto pitches the 9th inning. I believe he's 10-11 on save opportunities, which is crazy considering the discourse earlier in the season that I was a part of, right? His ERA is now 2.04. He's almost got a sub-2 ERA. And I think the last 5 or 6 outings, somewhere around there, he's been light years better. And the sinker, 100-mile-an-hour sinker, man, like, just has so much talent. Just has so much talent. And the thing is, because it's a sinker as a pitch is inherently not a swing and miss pitch. It's a barrel missing pitch. You throw that to get a weak ground ball. You get that to get a weak fly ball. You throw that pitch to induce a double play. It's not a swing and miss pitch in its nature. But when you throw it 100, it has the ability to be a swing and miss pitch. And on top of that, it has the ability to just get routine fly balls. And we saw that with a couple of fly balls to DAZ Cameron in right field. One of them via the sinker. Also threw the 4-seam a lot in this one. And I think that's part of the reason that you've seen him take that step forward lately, because Fetter is unbelievable. Fetter, for my money, is the best pitching coach in the game of baseball. And I think there is a direct correlation between when Gregory Soto started getting his act together and when he started throwing the 4-seam more often than his sinker. And I think that that's probably a Fetter thing. All phenomenal. What a game. DAZ Cameron. Like I said at the beginning, man, I really was just trying to convince myself that I wasn't going to be upset about it. I was like, all right, still took 3 of 5. It's going to be all right. And then DAZ Cameron just made me lose my mind in my living room. And then I was pacing the entire 9th inning. That's a big that's a big dog win. That's a big dog win, man. That's golly. That's such an impressive win. And good teams figure out how to win ball games. And oh boy, is that going to be put to the test this weekend. I believe we are getting Cole Severino Montgomery, and we are throwing out Brisky, Ronnie, and who else? I don't even remember who else. I have the tweet somewhere. But when we're looking at the difference between the pitchers that we are throwing out versus the pitchers the Yankees are throwing out, it's pretty intimidating. And on top of that, I believe the Yankees have the second best record in baseball, maybe the best, somewhere up there at the time of this recording. It's in New York. It's going to be a tall task. Oh, Elvin. There you go. Friday is Elvin. Saturday is Brisky. Sunday is Ronnie Garcia against the New York Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Some things to watch for, obviously the pitching. I mean, if we can navigate through this weekend, Chris Fetter should be inducted into Cooperstown immediately for starters. Second off, we might just be good. So we'll keep an eye on that. I think the biggest thing I want to look for this weekend is Bo Brisky in Yankee Stadium. This is a guy that we've talked about. His whiff numbers haven't been super high. When he's been successful, it's because he's been missing barrels, not bats. And I think he's been helped out by Comerica a little bit. He tends to have some outings where he's got a lot of long fly balls. And outs are outs. I don't care. But in Yankee Stadium, a much smaller park, you got the short porch, you got a lot of home run hitters. It's going to be a tall task for Brisky. It's going to be a tall task for everybody. I'm not singling him out as like it's only going to be a challenge for him. It's going to be a challenge for everybody that takes the bump, bullpen included. But he's one that I'm definitely like the most intrigued with going into this weekend because I'm interested to see if he makes any adjustments or if he just sticks to the game plan, and we'll see if it works. Okay. DAZ Cameron is him. A day after Tarek Skubal is him. What a series. 4 of 5 from the Minnesota Twins. 9 back. I think they're around 6 out of the wild card now. And I know that's not like a super fun thing to like jump for joy about, but when you talk about the depths that this team was at and the fact that June just started, we got a lot of ball games left. We got a lot of baseball yet to be played. 6 back, there are some worse situations to be in. So let's go keep winning. If we take 2 of 3 from the Yankees, I might cry. You got to at least snag one. 2 would just be icing. But you got to at least take 1. All right. Thanks for making Locked On Tigers your first listen every single day. Now make your next listen the Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, and his unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Follow the number 1 daily league-wide podcast, Locked On MLB, on the Odyssey app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast, just like this show. That's a dub, baby. That is a big dog dub. We will be back on Monday, hopefully recapping a good series against the Bronx Bombers in New York. We'll see how it goes. And regardless, I'll catch you on Monday. Peace and love. Going to therapy's dope. I'll